Hey guys, welcome back. This is AjaxG here with another video. It's been a long time since I've done a tech video. I know I've been posting a lot of gaming content. I've been streaming a lot of gaming content, but I'm going to upload, weekly every Tuesday some tech content, and I have videos for the next 6 weeks, so you will not be left right. All right. So this is going to be about streaming for anyone in any category, from gaming to just like IRL on Twitch, or podcast or whatever. It's going to be a general video for the type of laptops that you can use for streaming. I will be doing next week will be a video on desktops, but right now I'm going to focus on laptops because I feel like the price for a laptop is better than a desktop for some of the pre-builds, and for some people they prefer a smaller form factor when they want to stream because they don't need nothing all over the place. All right, so let's get into these laptops. I may have some gaming content on the screen, or I may, just go straight to Amazon. All right, so we're going to start with the Acer Nitro 5. I have recommended this in my past videos, so I'm going to show an updated version of this one. Now, this one is a little bit more on the expensive side, but we are not going to focus on the 1200 because we're going to buy it used. You do not need to buy a gaming laptop brand new. All right, I'm just straight up, okay? It's not used, but it's like someone returned it, basically. All right, so this has an RTX 2060. It has a Intel i7 9th gen. Okay, it has 16 gigabytes of RAM, and it has 144 refresh rates. It has 256 gigabytes of solid state drive. Okay, now this is a dope laptop for this price range. I am not feeling it, especially since the CPU is 2 years old. Okay, 2 generations old, let me put it that way. All right, so if we come down here, we see that it is $1049, okay, before tax. Depending on where you live, you may not have to pay tax, so that's awesome. Now, that is a better price. I did buy a Lenovo last year. It had a GTX 1660 Ti. It had 8 gigabytes of RAM, and it had 512 gigabytes of solid state drive. Okay, now the CPU was a 10th gen. It was an i7 10th gen, and I paid less than this price. I paid $900 for the one that I bought. Now, for $100 more, you get another stick of RAM, so that's 16 gigabytes. It may be just one stick of 16 gigabytes, so you have to check, but it could be dual channel. You might be lucky. And you get a RTX 2060, which is way better than the GTX 1660 Ti. Now, I recommend this if you want to game on this and stream gaming content. This would be a good option for this price point. Now, again, if you're someone that's not gaming and streaming, this will also still be good, because if you bought, let's say, something without an RTX 2060, you're paying about $100 to $300 less, depending on the specs of the laptop. So I'm going to show us a laptop that's around $700. All right, so for this laptop, you have an HP Pavilion. It has a GTX 1650 Ti. As you see, this is $700. It has 8 gigabytes of RAM, and it has an i5 processor, but it is a 10th gen. Now, this is a good build for around $700. I cannot lie about that. For $700, this is a great option. Now, that graphics card, I would recommend, if you're going to get a graphics card that's not in the RTX series, the lowest I would recommend is a GTX 1660 Ti. But this is a great way to start if you just want to game, or if you want to do some light streaming of like sharing your screen or doing like IRL content. This would be a great option because it's only $700. And for like, I want to say like $45 more, you can buy your own stick of RAM and put it in there, and you'll have 16 gigabytes of RAM. Now, it's not that hard to put RAM in. I know a lot of people are like scared to touch their laptops themselves. Every tech person, including myself, recommends not to tamper with it for at least the first year, because that is covered under the manufacturer warranty. But after that, you can do whatever you want. But honestly, it's not that hard to change the RAM. You can go to YouTube and literally put the make and model of your laptop and insert RAM. Promise you it'll take no more than 15 minutes to do it yourself. All right, so let's get into the next laptop. So for the price that you would pay for the first laptop that I showed, if you bought it brand new. Now again, the first laptop I showed was the Acer Nitro, and I told you guys to get it for the return price, the renewed price of $1,050. That's worth it for $1,050 or less. Now, if you wanted to pay $1,250, I would recommend getting this MSI laptop. Okay, this one has 16 gigabytes of RAM. It has a RTX 3060. It has 512 gigabytes of storage. This is the perfect laptop for this price point because you get a newer graphics card and it's thin. Okay, so you have everything that you need to stream. Now this would be great for streaming any type of content, including gaming, or if you just want to game on it, or if you someone like a lot of people ask, you know, what kind of laptop would I use for like coding. Literally, you can use a MacBook Air to program. Like, it doesn't take that much resources. Now, if you plan on running something like, you know, a virtual machine on top of, you know, Android Studio, or on type of what is it called for iOS? I don't know, Swift. I don't remember the languages, but whatever, Xcode, whatever you're using, if you have extra shit running that needs extra RAM, then I would recommend getting something a little more powerful than a MacBook Air. But for the most part, you can code on pretty much anything. You can literally buy a Raspberry Pi and you can program in Python on that, even in Java. Like, it doesn't take that much resources. But yeah, like I was saying, this can be used to stream whatever you want. I know a lot of people don't know what to look for when they're streaming, so I'm going to just give you a baseline of the type of specs that you can look for. And yeah, so let's switch over. All right, so like I was saying, so the type of laptop that you would look for if you were getting into gaming or any type of streaming. The basics that you need if you're looking for a streaming system of any kind, desktop, laptop, but right now we're specifically talking about laptops. You want at least 16 gigabytes of RAM, especially if you're doing any content creation, because it takes up a lot of resources. If you're someone that's going to be editing videos, I definitely recommend 16 gigabytes minimum. But if you're going to be editing videos, I would say try to go for 32. You don't need 32, but 32 will give enough room for whatever you're using. If you're someone like me that uses DaVinci Resolve, that shit takes up a lot of RAM. So RAM is important, especially when you're doing video editing. Okay, the next thing is your CPU. Okay, minimum i5 or Ryzen 5. Okay, right now prices aren't that much difference between an i5 and an i7, or a Ryzen 5 and a Ryzen 7. Okay, completely up to you. But my personal preference, because of the past, I prefer my laptops to have Intel CPUs. Now, again, Ryzen AMD is still on top. Like, I use, when I do builds, I always recommend an AMD CPU all the time for PC builds. Laptops, I'm still on the fence. I haven't had an AMD laptop in like 10 years, because when I had one, I was like, this is a waste of time. Times have changed. AMD is definitely on top. Okay, so minimum i5, i7, Ryzen 5, Ryzen 7. Now, 4800H for the Ryzen side. For the Intel side, you want something that is the 10th gen and better. Definitely recommend the 11th gen, because that is a lot better than the 10th gen. But the 10th gen will do just fine. I promise you, it's literally minuscule processing time. But as someone that does a lot of heavy lifting and large applications, I would recommend, just if you can, if it's like $50 different or $75 different, go for the next generation up. Now, for the hard drive, it really doesn't matter. It could be a hard disk drive or a solid state drive. What is the difference? The hard drive is a spinning disk. So God forbid if you drop your laptop, and you could really fuck up your hard drive. Like, if you have a hard disk drive, but if you have an SSD or a NVMe, there we go, drive, if you were to drop your laptop, it's less likely to mess up, because it is not a spinning disk in that type of hard. Okay, you can get 256 gigabytes, you can get 512, it's whatever. It depends on how much you're gonna have saved on your computer. If you're someone that's going to want to play Warzone, do not have less than 512 gigabytes. I'm gonna tell you that right now. 512 or better, because Warzone alone and Call of Duty is anywhere between 90 and 150 gigabytes. So yeah, you want to make sure you have space. If you're going to have more than just that, if you're only going to be playing that, I still recommend having 512 or more, because it takes up a lot of space. And the 256 that you get, you don't get that whole amount. You get like 212 or 215, because like 30 to 40 is for the operating system, and then like extra like save space just in case your system crashes. It has like a flash memory of the original state of the system. Okay, and as for graphics card, if you're someone that's going to be streaming or content creating, you want to have a discrete graphics card or a dedicated graphics card, which means it is separate from the CPU. So any laptop that has anything that has a GTX or RTX, I forgot what the AMD version of it is called, but a lot of laptops don't have AMD graphics card. But if it doesn't have a GTX or RTX next to it or in front of it, it doesn't have a discrete graphics card. It doesn't have RTX or a GTX. That means that the graphics is more than likely integrated with the CPU. That means the CPU handles the graphics and the processing. You want something that is handling the processing, then you want another chip that's going to handle the graphics. Okay, that is why a lot of people go to gaming laptops. That's why they're called gaming laptops, even though not everyone uses gaming laptops for gaming. But most gaming laptops are the ones that have the discrete graphics card. Okay, I hope this was helpful for you guys. Next week I'm gonna have a couple of desktops for you guys. Again, if you use any of these links in the description down below, it does help the channel. And yeah, oh yeah, lastly, there is a Razer laptop on Amazon. I'm gonna show it somewhere on the screen here. That one is only $1,100 right now, and it's on sale. Everyone loves Razer. Let me pull it up for you. Like I said, the Razer laptop is on sale right now. As you see, it's usually $1,500 because of its being so thin. That's why it's so expensive. It's like the Mac of the PC world, if you will. The only thing, it does have a GTX 1660 Ti, but that's still a great option. Honestly, I would buy it myself, but I'm still laptop picking for myself right now. So I'll show you guys what laptop I get when I do my unboxing later on. I hope this video was helpful for you guys. If you have any questions, let me know. Leave them in the comment section down below. Next week, I will have a new video for you guys. And throughout the week, you'll probably see some gaming content. All right, peace.